It's the project of Sophie Bryant, Jennifer Braun, Maya Lopez, and William Trevino. It is known as Perseus and the Gorgon.
His grandson would kill him by an ogle. So he told his daughter to have a daughter, but when his daughter had a son, he became enraged.
He pushed them into a wooden box and pushed them off to sea. They sailed for days without end. Finally washed up on shore, found Danaes and baby Perseus inside and rushed them to the king. Asked the king of this new land if they could stay and live with them. He grew up to be a strong young man. While the king fell in love with Danaes, he proposed countless times, but Danaes never gave in. King Polydeuces plotted to get rid of Perseus by sending him on a deadly mission. Still, Danaes refused to marry the king. "If you won't marry me," the king said, "then I'll send your son on a mission to capture Medusa's head." The king sent Perseus to fetch the head of the Gorgon. Medusa was one of the three monstrous sisters with brass hands and golden wings, whose gaze could turn man and beast. Perseus had no fear, though. He searched for many long days and nights. He looked everywhere and found no Medusa, so he lied down to rest. The goddess Athena came to him, bringing a shield so he could see Medusa's reflection without being turned to stone. All the next day, Perseus set off again, but still there was no sign of Medusa. The god Hermes visited Perseus. He gave him a sickle with which to cut off Medusa's snake-covered head. Then Hermes told Perseus to go to the Grey Ones. The ones are three sisters who share only one tooth and eye between the three of them. Perseus went to Mount Atlas, where the Grey Ones Perseus reached the top and snatched the one eye and tooth away from the Grey Ones. They told him to call the nymphs, and they would tell him where Medusa traveled to the ocean and called the nymphs. They hated Medusa and were glad to assist Perseus. They gave him a pair of winged sandals so he could fly, and a helmet to make sure he was completely invisible, and also a bag to put Medusa's head in. Perseus headed off to where the nymphs directed him to where the Gorgons lived. He went towards where he saw the Gorgons sleeping. Perseus raised his sickle high, and with one mighty stroke beheaded Medusa. In one moment he encased her head in the bag. He headed home with Medusa's head. The journey was long and hard, but after a year he arrived back home and found his mom, and then rushed to the king. The king was horrified to see him alive. He thought Perseus was long since dead. The king demanded to see Medusa's head. Perseus pulled it out of the bag and watched as the king was slowly turned to stone. He then rescued his mother, and before leaving the island, crowned Dictys the new king of the land. They sailed for Argos, where later Perseus killed his grandfather, as predicted in the oracle. The end.